Welcome, everyone, to your new moon in Virgo Tarotscopes for your new moon in Virgo on August 22nd or the 23rd. If you're on the West Coast, it will be on the 23rd, very, very late. If you're on the East Coast, it will be in the wee hours of the morning. So we talk all about that and how you should discern and define and what all of that means. So welcome to my channel if you're new here. And of course, welcome back if you are returning. I'm Joshua the Psychic. You can check out my website, psychicsun.com. If there's anything I can do for you. Good evening, Casmar. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well. So our Virgo next moon, if you're catching this live like Casmar, is, well, it's next week, right? Because it's the 14th today. And our Virgo new moon will be on Friday or Saturday on the 23rd. So that's going to be great. And this will be the last new moon of the summer, right? Because then we'll have, well, actually, no, it's not the last new moon of the summer, come to think of it, because we actually have two new moons in Virgo. So the very first day of Virgo is this new moon, and then we have our second new moon in Virgo on the very last day of Virgo. So that's very interesting. So you can also check out my website, psychicsun.com. If you're looking for written horoscopes for this lunation, the link to that is in the description below. So what is the new moon? Of course, the new moon is all about new beginnings. It's a reset, and it's a tabula rasa. You get a blank slate. So under the full moon cycle, which we had previously, our full moon was on, when was our full moon? Our full moon was on, let's see here. Our full moon, I should know this since it was in my sign. Okay, it was on August 9th. So on August 9th, we had our full moon in Aquarius. So we're letting go of things. We're clearing space for this new moon. And because it's in Virgo, it's going to be specifically about your health, your rituals, your habits, your work, the things that you do to keep your life running like a well-oiled machine, right? It's your day-to-day lifestyle is what Virgo is all about. It's those habits that make or break us. So the key or the goal for all of us is going to be less chaos and more calm. And that's what Virgo does. It creates order out of chaos. Of course, you can't have order without chaos. So we need both. And Virgo brings you order. Now, we have some really cool aspects this new moon. We have change agents, Uranus as well as Pluto, harmonizing with each other. So if you see here, I'll show you the chart. Uranus over here is at 1 degree Gemini, and Pluto is over here at 1 degree Aquarius. And Gemini and Aquarius are both air signs, so there's a nice flow of energy between them. And what that essentially means is that we have changes that are going to be going on mentally, because Uranus has to do with the mental plane, as well as emotionally, because Pluto has to do with the emotional plane. So we can expect brilliant insights and deep transformation. So you want to think boldly and act wisely, because things are changing. And if you need to make any major changes, well, this might be the new moon to set intentions for that. And the culmination of your new moon wishes will be complete by the corresponding full moon in Virgo, which will be in March of 2026. So this is definitely a lot of changes that can happen. And we'll talk about with those changes, you'll see them in your chart. We also have Uranus and Pluto making a sextile to Neptune as well as Saturn. So I'll show you what that means and what that is. So if you look over here, remember how we spoke about how Uranus over here at 1 degree Gemini is making a trine to Pluto and Aquarius. Well, over here, you get a sextile because you have Neptune as well as Saturn in the sign of Aries. And Aries is a fire sign, and Gemini and Aquarius are air signs. And fire needs air to live. Air needs fire, perhaps say to keep warm. And, well, there's a nice sextile going on between both Uranus as well as Pluto with Neptune as well as Saturn. So this is really, really nice. Spiritual growth, and it's going to be grounded. So we're going to be able to make changes in our lives, but they're going to be able to be grounded, and they're also going to be based on your visualizations and your imagination. Your imagination is key to everything. Your imagination is life's coming attractions. And with this beautiful sextile, you also have stability because you have Saturn there too. So with Saturn and Neptune so close together, it's going to be easier to imagine Neptune, how you want things to be, and then to act accordingly, putting your work to do that with Saturn. So we have a lot of spiritual growth, and they can be grounded, and your imagination is everything. So I would say, even though it's a Virgo new moon, you definitely want to tap into your imagination and perhaps even see yourself doing it. I would suggest with this Virgo new moon, as opposed to a vision board, maybe it's an action board. Because at the end of the day, action is what turns the needle or makes things happen, right? And then finally, you got this gorgeous Mercury with Mercury sextile Mars. That's really nice. So Mercury is in the sign of Leo, and Mars is in the sign of Libra. And again, we have that air and fire together. So we can speak with flair with that Leo energy and focus on showmanship, teamwork, positive attitude, creativity, and also partner up with that Libra energy and get things done. So you got creativity and tact, creativity being Leo, tact being Libra, and there's where you can get some magic for yourself. So it's going to be really, really nice. It's going to be easier to communicate, especially now that Mercury is direct. So what I want to impart with you guys tonight is that you want to allow yourself to really look at what is working and what is not working. And you got to discern what is practical and what's not practical, what's getting you closer to your goals, what's pushing you further away from your goals, what feels good and what feels bad, right? And then you want to define how you want to feel. You want to define, well, what changes can I actually make to help myself feel better in this realm? Now, what's key, especially with Neptune being so active this new moon, is you have to allow yourself to imagine how you want things to be. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. So essentially, you can't achieve something unless you can first see yourself achieving it, right? So that's why sometimes it's a matter of our perspective is really everything, because if you are looking for the changes that you want to see, you're going to be able to see them. Remember, the Bible says, seek and ye shall find. But if you're not ready to receive, you're not going to be able to see it happening. And you have to utilize your imagination to tap into that reality. So say, for instance, you have this ideal scenario, be it a job or a relationship, but you're like, I just don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't seem realizable. Well, that's going to be really problematic, because how can you achieve that, right? You're not changing reality when you're manifesting so much as you're changing how you see things, because what you're doing is you're projecting. We project our reality. So what you want to do is really get clear on what's not working, because that's what Virgo does. It's a fault finder, right? And then say, okay, but what would make this amazing? What would make this really, really great? And you got to clock it. You got to see what it feels like, what it looks like, what you're hearing. Really get involved with your imagination, because if you wind up going over in your head, visualizing how you want things to go, and it feels good, then you have a better chance of making it happen. And if you don't believe something's going to happen, it's a fool's errand. Don't even bother. You want to get yourself into that space of, okay, yeah, I can see myself in this position. I can see myself in this relationship, right? And when you're visualizing, you don't want to visualize it as if you're watching a movie and you're a character in the movie. You want to visualize it from your perspective. Like, what would you be seeing in that scene if you were in that scene with your two eyes, right? So you're not seeing yourself outside of yourself. You're seeing it from your perspective. Because remember, reality is a projector. You're projecting everything. And that's why the internal landscape is so important. You want to make sure that you're feeling as good as possible, because whatever it is that you're feeling, you're conjuring up that energy, projecting it outward, and that is your reality. And you want to have an amazing reality. And I got to tell you, even though there's 2 Virgo new moons, this is our last hurrah, so to speak, to make things happen for this year. And I say that because, well, Virgo's like that midpoint, right? Before we get to Libra and the remaining signs, but also we have eclipses coming up, eclipse season, and that's when the universe is going to have its way with us. We don't want to do much spell work or anything like that. The eclipses are going to shift things around. So this is your opportunity to really tell the universe, this is what I want, right? Let's go with this. Because the next new moon in Virgo we have, because we're going to have 2 this year, will be on the 22nd of September, and that will be a solar eclipse. So I would say if you want to light candles, this is it. You're not going to be able to do so. I mean, you can if you want, but I wouldn't advise it until your October new moon in Libra. I think that's October 16th. Is it the 16th? No, it's the 21st. Yeah, you got a new moon on October 21st. All the new moons, it seems, or a lot of them, are very much close to the next sign or the previous sign. Like it's either at 0 degrees or it's at like 29 degrees. So, well, with that being said, what you want to do is check to find where 0 degrees of Virgo falls in your chart. That's where this new moon is. And that is going to be where the energy is really ripe for new beginnings. So let's start with Aries. So Aries, this new moon is going to be in your 6th house. That's the house that Virgo rules. It's all about your day-to-day regime, your process, your habits, your work, your health. So you want to tune into your daily rituals. What do you do day in and day out? And how can you feel better? How can your work life be better? How can you feel better physically? If you're involved in service, how can you serve better? So this is a great time for you to really think about your health and think about, I might want to stop eating this or drinking so much or whatever it might be. It's a great time for you to create, say, a new workout regime or a new meal prep routine for yourself. Now we have Uranus and Pluto in your 3rd and 11th houses. So your thinking is going to be pretty extraordinary. You're going to get scintillating flashes of insight, most likely. You're going to be able to get these flashes of genius. And then what's cool is you're going to be able to put them toward your hopes and your dreams and actually really move the needle with that 11th house, which has to do with your hopes and your dreams, as well as your community. So you're going to get some sudden insights, and you want to apply them to either your community or a big dream that you have, a big goal that you have, because there's a beautiful flow of energy there. And we also have Uranus sextiling Neptune in your 3rd and 1st houses. So Uranus is in your 3rd, Neptune is in your sign, along with Saturn. So you're going to be getting these really good ideas, and then you're going to be able to visualize them. And that is what is going to help you create them. But even more awesome than that, we also have Saturn in your sign. So you're going to be able to get those ideas with that 3rd house and then actually do something with them. So now with Saturn in your sign, so close to Neptune, it's going to be very easy for you to imagine it, see yourself doing it, and then you just execute. And I think it's going to be really, really easy for you to manifest this new moon. And you also have Mercury in Leo, which is very friendly to your sign, making a harmonious sextile to Mars. So your 5th house is ruled by Leo. And this means really you could find somebody, if you're in the market for it, that you have a lot of fun with. It's true love that also, believe it or not, could actually be a good partner. See, in astrology, we have the 5th house, which is sort of like affairs, let's say, or, a tryst with somebody, right? Or dating and fun and games. And then you have the 7th house, and that's putting a ring on it. That's getting married. Now, the two do not necessarily coincide, because what we have in between the 5th and the 7th houses is your 6th house, which is your lifestyle. So in order for the person that you get along well with, that you laugh with, that you have great sex with, that you enjoy, in order for that to actually be a partnership, your lifestyles have to complement each other. So you could find somebody who not only is fun and enjoyable and a true love, but also somebody that is a good partner. Also, your creativity is off the hook. You're going to be able to get creative and maybe even partner with somebody in order to implement your creative vision because there's such great stuff there. Now, the card chosen for you was Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is like the wind is in your face a little bit, and that makes sense with Neptune in your sign. So you don't want to necessarily make any momentous decisions unless you've been leading up to it, unless it's really a hell yeah. The Seven of Cups counsels passivity and to really look at all of your options. I also want to let you know that with the Seven of Cups, this is really getting deep into your creativity and really allowing your imagination to run wild and to really become one with your artistry or your creativity or, you know, how you want something to go, really getting into the feeling and the visualization of it. But when it comes to action, Aries, you may want to relax a little bit and see what you can do because you're going to have a lot of possibilities. And this card would indicate to take your time and know that there might be something better. So unless you're 100% gung-ho about it, hold off on making any momentous decisions. So Taurus, this new moon for you is in your 5th house. So that's really nice. The 5th house is all about play and true love and just enjoying yourself, doing things that you really love. So this is a new beginning for you in terms of creativity, passion projects, and even dating. If you're looking for love, this is a really good new moon for that. And if you're already in a relationship, if you're already spoken for, well, you can add more play and more fun to your relationship. Now you have Uranus making a trine to Pluto in your 2nd to 10th houses. So there's some kind of new talent that you might understand about yourself or get a glimpse of with that 2nd house Uranus, and you might be able to apply it to your career, 10th house. So there's a wonderful link between your money and your status, or your money and your career, or your resources and your professional life. And I also would say this could work the other way. You could make a career move that could be very good for you financially. The big thing is to look at what new talents you can express to help you along your professional journey. Now, we also have Uranus making that sextile to your 12th house. It's your 2nd to your 12th house. So this is a real strong link between your money and your subconscious. So if you're looking to make more money, it's going to be very easy for you to do so if you simply visualize yourself doing it. You could, before you go to sleep at night, visualize yourself counting $1 million, right? It's sort of like counting sheep, but a lot more practical, because if you're visualizing yourself counting it, you're going to get the money. You're going to get more money, right? So if you also are looking for a new job, you might want to visualize that paycheck or the offer that you get, etc., because it's a very strong link. You also want to utilize this time to convince yourself subconscious that you're a very valuable person, that you're very worthy, right? Because there's a very, very strong link between your income and your subconscious. So do whatever you can to chat yourself up, focus on your talents, your strengths, your abilities, what you bring to the table. Now, Mercury in Leo is making a sextile to Mars in Libra. So for you, Taurus, really there's a lot of stuff going on in the home front. Your home might be very, very busy. There might be a lot of comings and goings. If you have kids, you might be getting ready for school, right? And there's a wonderful link between that home domestic energy and your day-to-day lifestyle. So there's something about a new level of emotional security, domesticity, items that have to do with what you're doing on the home front that is really going to help and benefit your lifestyle. Maybe it's a matter of you're going to do more things from home. This is a big work from home transit. If you're looking to work from home or you want to add an extra day in which you're working from home, that could be really good. This is also perhaps about setting up a space in your home that is conducive to your lifestyle. Maybe it's a matter of you're going to make your life easier, and instead of going to the gym, you're going to get an exercise mat and you're going to buy some weights, and you're going to make sure that your habits on the home front are aligned with your goals. You're also probably going to have some really good communications with the people that you live with or the people you're emotionally connected to, and maybe you'll work with them either to get a new job or figure out a new workout routine, but there's some real cool thing going on between your domestic life and your habits. And with the Hermit card, it's a matter of you're closing a cycle, a material cycle. So you're probably in the process of either changing jobs or changing schools. There's going to be something affecting your day-to-day regime. And with the Hermit card, it's a matter of really looking and seeing what is no longer relevant for you. What feels to you as if it's not fun anymore, doesn't excite you anymore, and how can you allow yourself to go through that inner healing in which you are wrapping things up. And with the Hermit card, you might be feeling like you want to be a little bit alone, which is very, very Virgo, right? But this is about closing a cycle, a material cycle. So wrap up your projects and do what you can to prepare for transition. Prepare, even if you're not making a physical move. This is a really good card that would advise you to finish up your projects, finish up your tasks, have nothing around you that's not practical. This could be a nice card for you in terms of cleaning up your space and just getting things more orderly. It's a matter of decreasing is going to be key with the Hermit card, and really quieting down the mind and focusing on the inner world, because that inner world is where you're manifesting, right? So have a series of conversations with yourself, and you might have to go it alone for a little bit, and that's okay because you'll come back stronger for your partners. So Gemini, this new moon will be in your 4th house. So it's all about your home and your family, your emotional security. This is an opportunity to refresh your inner roots. What makes you feel emotionally stable? What makes you feel as if you have a really rich emotional foundation? What foundationally has to change in your life? Do you need to give yourself, more self-care? Do you need to connect with the mother figures in your life and heal those maternal figures? Because the 4th house does have to do with mother, right? And if you're lucky enough to still have your mother, well, make sure that you're honoring her. This could be a new beginning for you and her. And even if you don't have your mom, well, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only takes on a form of another energy. So if your mother isn't here, well, you still can connect with her. And in fact, it might be even easier to. For some people, your relationship with your parents or grandparent or friend or whatever is actually stronger when they're in spirit. So definitely tap into that maternal energy and heal that space, because that will make things a lot easier for you. And do whatever you can to create a space for you in your home that feels really safe and nourishing and a sanctuary, because that's going to really help you with everything, particularly your career. Now we have Uranus making a trine to Pluto in your 1st and 9th houses. So you're a live wire right now, Gemini, with Uranus in your sign. And you're going to be becoming more aware of how you tick, what you do, what you can do, your personality, the hidden aspects of your personality. And what you're going to be able to do with those is maybe you'll publish something with the 9th house. Maybe you'll broadcast something with the 9th house. Maybe you'll go on a foreign trip, or you'll realize, oh, I really need to go back to school. So there's some kind of flash of insight in terms of your personality that's going to help you to expand and grow. It may be through travel, it may be through publishing or broadcast, and it may be through higher education. Now, we also have Uranus in your sign making a sextile to Neptune in your 11th house. So again, you're getting these flashes of insight, and it's going to help you determine what your friends might need or what your community might need, or because it's that 11th house, how you can make a hope, dream, wish, or goal materialize. And your body is super sensitive. So I would make sure you're getting extra rest. You're listening to your body. I would say if you're at a party with a lot of people, when you come home, please shower, because that's a lot of energy you're taking on with you. And with that 11th house, your self-construct is going to change. And that's going to help you achieve your hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. And it's also going to help your community or a friend or friends. So definitely tap into your intuition and be aware that you're going to be getting these flashes of insight. Now we have Mercury happily in your 3rd house, making a sextile to Mars in your 5th. So your communications, 3rd house, could get you a really hot date, or it could be really good for romance, or your thinking could help you to express yourself more creatively, because that 5th house is all about your creativity, the things that you really love. I also would say that with the 3rd house making that sextile to the 5th, your social life, like where you go on a regular basis, there could be something new there that brings you a lot of joy. So if you've had in your mind, oh, I need a new group, I need a new people to hang out with, or a new club, something like that, that's going to bring you a lot of joy. In fact, you could even find true love in some kind of new social situation. And apropos to that is 3 of Cups, the card that was chosen for you. This is about people getting together and celebrating, and it's all about abundance. And you're going to be able to be part of this celebration. It's all about making sure that you're tapping into that energy of abundance. One thing that's key is you don't want to go and look at somebody and say, okay, well, your job, not that you would do this specifically, but bear with me. You wouldn't look at somebody to have them fill you up. That's just not what you want to do, because that's not their job and they might not do it. What you want to do is you want to come from this place of abundance, and then you are going to attract abundance, right? So as opposed to like meeting somebody and trying to get something out of them, like you never want to do that. When you're dealing with people, you always want to be only concerned with the energy that you're flowing. And if you want to be, quite frankly, well liked, don't need anything from anybody. Just don't. I know that, we need people and we need things from people, but it makes you just so much easier to be around when you're not wanting anything and you're just in the moment, focused on yourself, your abundant self. And that's going to make everything way easier. There's going to be some great parties. I would definitely go to them, because you could make some new friends and it could add to your sense of abundance. So Cancer, this new moon will be in your 3rd house. So you're probably going to be getting a lot of information around this time at the tail end of August. So pad your schedule with some extra wiggle room. Don't be afraid to say no to some invitations. There's going to be a lot of information. So be sure to protect your time and your energy. I'd say with the 3rd house new moon, it's all about a new beginning for you, especially in terms of your mindset, how you see things. But it's also going to be really good for you in terms of your social life, the things that you do on a regular basis, you're learning. You might actually find a new beginning in your neighborhood. Maybe you'll create a new neighborhood. Maybe you'll be moving, or maybe you'll be finding something in your neighborhood that is really, really fun and exciting for you. And it could also be very advantageous. You really want to work with your neighborhood if you're looking for more money or more work, or even if you're looking to play with more people and have more fun, or even to find love. Your neighborhood could actually be where that's at. There also is a new beginning with siblings and cousins, because that also rules the 3rd house. You also might decide that you want to go on a short distance trip. There's a lot of things, if you haven't noticed, that are associated with that 3rd house. So set intentions around mindset, communications, and what you do regularly. Now, Uranus is in your 12th. So your dream life, you're going to probably be having some wild dreams. And I would consider taking a notebook with you to bed, put it beside your bed, and write down your dreams, because that's where you're going to be getting a lot of insight. And this is going to be a really interesting, transformative period for you. because you have Uranus in your 12th house, which has to do with your subconscious, and you have Pluto in your 8th house, which has to do with, well, it has to do with your boundaries. It has to do with deep psychological healing. It also pertains to sex and death and taxes, and it's very, very intense, that 8th house. So what you want to do is allow yourself to flood your subconscious with how you want things to be, right? And listen to the look and listen and determine what your subconscious is trying to tell you with either flashes that you get or the dreams that you have. Because what your subconscious is most likely doing, Cancer, is prepping you for a brand new beginning. And really, that brand new beginning will be initiated probably by an ending, right? So things are transforming for you. And with Uranus trining Pluto, the changes could happen really, really quick. So you need to be subconsciously ready. So if you think you're going to be ending something, if you're ending a relationship, if you want to leave your job, if you want to change your job, you got to visualize how you want that to go. And that's going to help you actually make the change. And there is a lot of change for you. You're definitely closing cycles here this new moon. Uranus in your 12th is also making a sextile to Neptune in your 10th. So again, your subconscious is really going to be informing your career. Can you see yourself doing what you want to do? Can you visualize yourself giving that presentation, accepting that award, asking for that raise, successfully getting that raise, whatever it might be? Your subconscious is really, really key. And, it always is for you, Cancer. You are very, very subconsciously motivated by the moon. So make sure that you're visualizing how you want things to go, especially professionally, as there's a lot of great stuff that could happen if you visualize what you want. And then you, of course, take inspired action. Now, we also have Mercury in your house of money, making a sextile to Mars in your house of home and family. So this is really nice. You're probably going to get some ideas about how you could make more money, or what you could do to supplement your income, or what talents you might want to explore. And what's really wonderful is you're going to have a lot of backing in order to do that. You're going to have the emotional security that gives you that sense of, sure, I can make more money and do this, or I can explore this talent. So definitely have communications at home with the people that you love, and speak about, your finances, your values. And if you don't have anybody at home to do that to, well, be sure to spend time at home thinking about those things. There's a wonderful link between your money and your home. So maybe it's a matter too of, really, you might be deciding to rent out the apartment in your duplex. I don't know. You might decide that you want to do something with your home and maybe sell it. But there's some really great energy between your finances and talents, as well as your home. Now we have 9 of Wands here. So 9 of Wands, this is telling you that you need to perhaps let down your guard a little bit. You are completing a cycle. And if you notice this guy in this card, he's like battle weary. He has a bandage on his head, and he's he's been through it. But the wands that are behind him are erect and they're stable. They're not doing anything, right? Like, he's being defensive perhaps for no reason. So this can be about unnecessary defensiveness. You got to ask yourself, are you blocking what it is that you're asking for? Because that's going to be key. I also would say with 9 of Wands, you're completing a cycle. You're completing a cycle and you're very close to the end. So you might be a little bit weary about that, but you're very, very close, and you're very, very strong with the 9 of Wands. I would just say, put down your guard, because you don't want to prevent what it is that you want to come in. So watch out for how defensive you are, and make sure that you're being receptive. Remember, if you're expecting something to happen, you're allowing it. Oh, thank you, Casimar. You're absolutely right. Better to fill up other people. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. So for you, Leo, this new moon will be in your 2nd house of money, as well as talent, your values, the things that you value. So reassess. Things have been we've been all going through changes, right? Pluto's changed signs, Saturn's changed signs. So this is a great opportunity for you to really say, okay, well, what matters to me now at this stage of my life? Like, what do I really care about? Leo, you are a fixed sign, so you might be used to flowing your energy or doing the things that you normally do. And you might be doing that more out of habit as opposed to instinct. So this new moon is an opportunity for you to get really clear. I value this, this, and this. And then you make sure that you are organizing, keyword for Virgo, organizing your life around those values. And when you are living a value-oriented life, well, you become more valuable and then you're more happy, right? Because value fulfillment is happiness. This could be a new job that you wind up getting or a new talent that you decide to explore. So allow yourself to definitely open up your throat chakra. This is a great new moon to sing, express yourself, and really get in touch with your natural gifts and what really feels most authentic to you at this moment in time. Now we have Uranus trining Pluto from your 11th to your 7th houses. So this could be really, really good. You and a partner could have the same ideal, which is great, right? You both might wake up in the morning and say, we're going to do this. And that will make the relationship great, because in every relationship, you really need to have that common objective. There might be fights about what towels on the floor or, what we're having for dinner. But at the end of the day, if you both have the same objective, that's going to really help keep the relationship together. So you also, if you're not in a relationship, you might meet somebody for a relationship within a group setting or when you're doing something to pursue your dreams. But I think the 11th and the 7th house, you could find a dream partner. You could find, maybe you're involved in a group and you might find a partner in that group. There's a wonderful energy there. So definitely get social. Now, Uranus in your 11th is making a beautiful sextile to Neptune in your 9th. So, you might decide that you are in this space to imagine how you want things to be, how you want to expand and grow. And really, the key for you is to determine who you want to have come along with you. Because this would suggest that you're going to expand, but it might not be expansion just on your own. You might be taking your friends with you. It could be a friend, it could be a group of friends. You are a leader, Leo, so you might decide that you want to spearhead something that involves other people. And of course, many hands make little work, right? So this could be very, very good for you. It also is an opportunity, I would think, with the 9th house, you might want to go on a group trip. Like, say you want to go to a foreign country, but you're not sure who you want to go with. Well, there might be an opportunity to grab a whole bunch of people together. Or there might be people that are going on a trip, and that would be great for you. Now, Mercury is in your sign, making a sextile to Mars in your 3rd house. So expressing yourself boldly is going to be really key for you. And it's going to help your communications. I think with Mars in the 1st, Mercury in your 1st, making a sextile to Mars in your 3rd. I think the key for you is going to be to express yourself in a new way, tap on into a new aspect of yourself, and make sure that you're also talking to new people and thinking in new ways, gaining some different perspective. The more curious you are, especially coming from that new identity, the easier things are going to be, because there's a beautiful curiosity with this sextile between your 1st and your 3rd. So communicate with other people, but be sure to also listen and talk to people that you may not have spoken to before. Now, with the Moon card, this is counseling passivity. The wind might still be in your face a little bit, Leo. So what you might want to do is take a step back and to see where you're at and to see what makes the most sense for you. I also would say with the Moon card, get more sleep if you can. Look at all of your options. Don't feel as if you have to make any major decisions. And also, if you are an artist or a creator, this is a really great card for you. This is a great time for you to get more involved in your creativity. Now, Virgo, happy new moon in your sign. Oh, good evening, Marla. Nice to see you. So, Virgo, happy new moon. This will be one of 2 new moons that are in your sign. And it's a new rebirth for you. It's a new beginning. It's going to be great. So it's all about, who do you want to be? What is that person like? Because everything that you want to achieve comes from your self-concept. You have to perceive yourself as somebody who could get what you want before you get what it is that you want. So determine who you want to be in this new trajectory. Also, the first house, how do you want to show up? What's the package you're presenting to the world? How are you dressing? How are you doing your hair? What's your comportment like? How do you carry yourself? Are you carrying yourself as somebody who has been chosen? Or are you carrying yourself as somebody who is looking to be chosen? Very different. And the results, as you may guess, are also going to be very, very different. So you always want to carry yourself energetically as if you've achieved what it is that you've set out to do. Don't wait for it to happen and then say you're going to feel better. Feel better beforehand. Now, Uranus in your 10th to your 6th, there's a lot of work stuff going on here, professional stuff. So expect changes in terms of your career that could really, really help your day-to-day lifestyle. This is a great opportunity to look for a new job if you're not satisfied in the one that you're in. It's also a wonderful time for you to implement new regimes and processes to help you to feel as perfect as possible. This could be a new exercise regime, a new spiritual practice, different meals that you're eating, getting all your vitamins and nutrients. Now, we also have Uranus in your 10th making a sextile to Neptune in your 8th. So if you're looking to merge with other people professionally, maybe you are an entrepreneur and you want to collaborate with other people and maybe merge your business or do something with other people. This is a really great new moon for you to put that into effect. You know, sometimes when you're starting off in a new business, you might need a little bit of help and you could get really far by, well, so to speak, riding on somebody's coattails. But it's a successful relationship, so there's nothing, bad about that. I also would say with the 10th house and the 8th house, it's probably likely that there's some career thing that you're really not wanting to do anymore. And you might want to just make that line in the sand. Maybe you always get paid for a certain thing, but you're like, if I do this one more time, I don't think I can handle it. I really don't. So think about what in your career needs to end. What are you sick of doing? And we also have Mercury in your 12th, making a beautiful sextile to Mars in your 2nd. So, your subconscious and your finances are very, very much linked. So you got to start looking for more abundance, seeing how everything's abundance, seeing yourself as how you already rich. And it is true. Like there are a lot of people that are multimillionaires who are constantly worried about money. So they might have plenty of money, but they don't really get to enjoy it. So make sure that you're communicating with yourself about your ideal financial situation. Also communicate with yourself about your talents. Always, express your talents. Start seeing yourself as a budding artist or whatever it is that you want to do. But it's a really good time for you to plan ahead for your financial well-being as well. 3 of discs. This is about teamwork making the dream work. So you may find that you work well with other people to get something done, but it also could be a matter of you're not going to be splitting your energy because the 3 of Pentacles could also be body, mind, and spirit working in unison toward a particular goal. Sometimes we want to do something mentally, but we're not doing it. We're not physically involved in it. But if you get the body and the mind and the spirit, your mind is on it, you're actually doing it, and you are excited about it, you're spirited about it, you're going to get it done. And that's what 3 of discs would mean as well. So Libra, this new moon is in your 12th house. So you're gearing up for your birthday season. And you want to make sure that you're getting enough rest, enough downtime. This is a time for you to heal, right? The 12th house is about endings. You're going to be having to process everything that happened over the past 11 months, right? Like what happened over the past year? What have you gone through? Look at how far you've grown. Look at what you've manifested. And also determine what no longer really works for you. What do you need to end? Uranus in your 9th house is making a beautiful trine to Pluto in your 5th. So you might actually meet somebody on a foreign trip. There could be something, or if you're in school, you could be finding true love while you're at school. This is a really great opportunity for you to take a leap of faith, which is the 9th house, when it comes to your joy. Maybe you need to expand and grow and do something that allows you to have more fun. This is also really good if you're a broadcaster or you publish things. This is really, really good because your creativity, your fifth house, is linked up with your ninth house of publishing and broadcast. So whatever makes you joyful, get it out there into the world. This could be really good for that. I also would say with the ninth house and the fifth house, ninth house is a very entrepreneur house, right? Entrepreneurship. And with that fifth house, this is about how can you really have fun by expanding and growing and exploring your world. Now, we also have Uranus in your ninth, making a sextile to Neptune in your seventh. So there may be some surprises when it comes to a partnership, and there might be also some delusions because Neptune is in that seventh. So you got to make sure that you're seeing your partners clearly. If you are confused, it might be good to just not say anything and just take a wait and see approach or to ask for clarity. But I would definitely don't trust everything that you might perceive in terms of your relationships, just because with Neptune there in the seventh house, you might not be seeing things correctly. Likewise, if you are looking to find a great partner, well, Neptune's going to help you to do that. They're out there. I think you just want to, ask for it, make that list of the things that you want in somebody, and that's going to help you. And it could happen really, really quick, but there might be fast things happening in terms of relationships. Now, Mercury is in your 11th house. Mars is in your first house. So you're feeling probably a lot more energized lately with Mars in your sign. So connecting with groups of like-minded people is going to help inform your new identity. So if you want to learn more about yourself, spend more time in groups, go after a dream or a hope or an ideal, because that's what's going to really make things happen. Like the more you can allow yourself to use your stronger energy while Mars is in your first for the collective or for a big goal, that's going to expand your energy. It's almost like you have you, and yeah, you could just hang out with yourself. But as soon as you wind up connecting to other people, that energy that you are presenting is going to get really, really big and be very, very powerful. Same thing if you're going after a goal. The card we chose for you is 10 of Cups. So you're closing an emotional cycle. This is like happily ever after. What is happily ever after in your life? Where do you want to have happily ever after? And what is really done? What are you kind of like, I got to end this? Sometimes even in terms of relationships, you love the person, but you're no longer compatible. Is that 10 of Cups? Is that you saying, we had a good run, but this is now killing us? So think about what needs to end emotionally, and how you can feel better by allowing yourself to know that, there are no bad relationships necessarily, just some that last longer than others, and nothing in life is permanent. So just bear that in mind. I also would say that 10 of Cups is a very happy card. There's a lot of family and happy energy there. So definitely enjoy your rewards, because this is a culmination of emotional energy, and there's a lot of joy here as well. But you're also closing an emotional cycle. So it's like an ending as well as a new beginning. So Scorpio, you got this new moon in your 11th house. That's really happy. That's really good. 11th house has to do with your friends, your network, your hopes, your dreams, and your ideals. So this is a great time for you to set goals in terms of something big that you really want to do. I always wanted to do this. I never thought I could. This is the opportunity that you have to say, I'm going to write that screenplay, or I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to start a podcast, or I'm going to get this job, or whatever. Like, go after those shiny apples on the tree. This is also a new beginning for you in terms of your networks. So if you're looking for a new group that inspires you, this is a great new moon for it. We also have Uranus trining Pluto. So you're, things are being shaken up. Like, you're probably feeling yourself going through these changes with Uranus in your 8th. And you're going to be understanding who you are now as opposed to who you were before. And what that means is that you need to nurture yourself in a completely different way, or at least in a different way, right? Because you're transforming what you used before to make yourself feel emotionally safe and secure and all tucked in, is probably going to change. So what do you need to change in terms of your emotional security? And also with this transformation, you may find yourself much more nurturing. You may find yourself having a lot more energy to give. And I think it's very important for Scorpios to really recognize that. They're extremely nurturing people. People malign Scorpio quite a bit, but I'd say they're most likely one of the most nurturing signs of the zodiac. They're very, very nurturing and very, very caring. And it's important to find an outlet for that. Oh, you are feeling that, Casmar? So with the devil, this is a matter of, the devil is all about recognizing that we all have a shadow, right? And it's not a matter of ignoring the shadow or denying the shadow, but integrating the shadow. And also, I would say that if you're looking to make a hope or a dream or a wish come true, call upon your dark side. God comes to earth and creates a religion, and the devil follows and organizes it. So sometimes you need to tap into that darker energy to get it done. So if you have a big goal, you can manifest it. You just gotta be very, very organized and systemized about it, non-emotional. Happy new moon. Sagittarius, this new moon will be in your 10th house, so it's a new beginning for you professionally. Think about what you want to be known for, what you most enjoy doing, what you're most passionate about, because that's where you're going to have the most success. There's a great opportunity for you to plant seeds for new beginnings for you professionally. Your status, what do you want to be known for? How do you want the world to see you? Now, your relationships might be changed up a little bit with Uranus in your 7th house and Pluto in your 3rd. So you might find yourself making changes in your relationships, and that might also change your social life, right? Maybe you and your honey might start doing more social things together. Maybe you'll be going to new places together, spending new time at places. Likewise, if you're looking to meet somebody, well, it might be right in your backyard. It might be right in your neighborhood, someplace where you go on a regular basis. I'd also say with this beautiful trine between your 7th and 3rd, communicating more easily with your partner is likely. So make sure that you're communicating with more ease. And people aren't mind readers. Usually Sagittarius is pretty impatient. They don't want to have to explain themselves, especially explain their emotions, since they're not very comfortable with them. But it might help for you to do so. And this is a great new moon for you to do that. Now, we also have Uranus in your 7th, sextiling Neptune in your 5th. So you can visualize the perfect partner. That would be really good. I also would say that you might really tap into that energy of romance. If you're looking to manifest somebody, well, you got to tap into that spirit of romance. And how you want things to go with your partner is really going to be helpful. There's a lot of fun here. There's a lot of fun here in terms of partnerships. There might be a creative partnership that you get involved in. It might be a romantic partnership. And if you're in a relationship already, well, you can spice things up with this beautiful sextile. You also got Mercury in your 9th, sextiling Mars in your 11th. So you might have some great ideas about expansion and growth. And that 11th house, well, you're going to tap into your community because that could be what makes it happen. I think that if you want to expand, if you want to grow, this could be a wonderful opportunity. If you're planning on going to school or taking classes, you might find yourself meeting great friends. You are going to school to learn, and you also wind up meeting all these wonderful people. And this also is a great opportunity for you to do something with friends. Maybe it's a trip abroad, right? Or doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, something that's foreign. Now you got the Ace of Pentacles as your card. One small step, right? What can you do on a practical level that is action oriented, right? Is it just making that step, planting that seed, doing what you need to do in order to start the process? You have to plant the seed. You've got to take action. You've got to be practical. And this is a beautiful new beginning for you. So it starts with just this, this one step. And Capricorn, you got the new moon in your 9th house. So it's all about a new beginning for you when it comes to expansion and growth in your higher mind. You might decide to go on a new journey with that 9th house new moon. The 9th house has to do with foreign travel. It could be about expansion in terms of publishing and broadcasting. It could also be about higher education, going back to school, and it also is an entrepreneurship house. So if you're looking to do any of those things, this is the new moon for it, a new journey, literal or metaphorical. And Uranus with Pluto from your 6th to your 2nd, your work life is probably going to be a little bit crazy. There's probably a lot of things that are happening, but it's also changing, and your work life could change in such a way that you are able to get a nice bump in your pay, because that second house is really, really great. And also might be an opportunity for you to tap into a new talent. You know, perhaps it's a matter of somebody takes an unexpected leave of absence at your work, then you're able to step in and you're like, oh, shoot, I never realized I was so good at project management or whatever it might be. And that's going to increase your income. So be on the lookout for that. Meanwhile, that Uranian 6th house is making a beautiful sextile to Neptune in your 4th. So it really is going to be important for you to really think about how you want your day-to-day lifestyle to be like, and how you can make sure that your home is complementing that, right? If you feel like work is really quiet, maybe you make sure you have home music on at home, or vice versa. This is also going to be helpful for you when it comes to making sure that what you do on a daily basis really nourishes you. Like, what do you need to do regularly to really feed your soul? For some, it's working out. For some, it's meal prep. For others, it's meditation. There's a beautiful link between your daily lifestyle and what makes you feel emotionally secure. So new habits that make you feel emotionally secure would be great. You also got Mercury in your 8th, sextiling Mars in your 10th. So again, you're also going through this transformation, and in a lot of ways, it's going to be important for you to determine what that next level of your career is. And it's just about, you know, making a list perhaps of your ideal scenarios. And it could happen really soon. If you're looking to make a jump professionally and either change careers or get a bump in your status, this could be the new moon for you. The card chosen for you is lovely. 9 of Pentacles is all about love of work made visible. When you do what you love, the result of that is money. And it's visible, right? So love of work made visible. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And even if you don't love what you're doing 100%, if you can find something to love about it, that is going to be key. So whatever you are committed to at this point in time, find a way of loving it, because then it's going to be better. And if you can't, you need to find a new job, right? If you really hate what you're doing and you can't find any joy of it, well, there's a better job for you, and more money for you too. So bear that in mind. So Aquarius, this new moon will be in your 8th house. So it is going to be a transformative new moon for you. You want to make sure that you're determining what no longer works for you, what you need to say goodbye to, where you need to set your boundaries, where you also may be needing to release your boundaries. You know, you're a fixed sign. You're just as stubborn, although you might not come across as so to other people. So you want to make sure that you're letting down your guard a little bit and being vulnerable if you feel like you've been too stubborn or closed off, right? Because you're going to gain through this 8th house new moon via boundaries, the ones that you set and the ones that you dissolve. And you're going through a lot of transformation, especially I think with Pluto in your sign. Uranus in your 5th house is making a beautiful trine to that Pluto in your 1st house. So this could be getting very, very creative. Like, your creativity typically is pretty high, off the charts. But this means that you might be getting extremely creative, so much so that even you are like surprised. Also, the 5th house has to do with romance and joy. So you could be meeting somebody who knocks your socks off. And you could be, if you're in a relationship, rekindling your flame with your significant other. But there's some really great stuff here between your identity and your play and your fun and your creativity. And Uranus in your 5th is also making a sextile Neptune in your 3rd. So you're going to be able to be very creative. And in fact, you might find that your creativity helps you with your manifestations. Maybe you utilize this aspect by drawing out how you want things to go. That's what I would do with this aspect. This is really, really nice, right? Just sketching out. This would be the best case scenario. And what you visualize is going to really, really help you. Like your visions are really going to be very strong. And it looks like with this beautiful sextile that you're really going to make sure that you're combining those flashes of insight that you get with your imagination. And Mercury sextiling Mars. So Mercury's in your 7th house. It's in Leo. And Mars is in your 9th. So you might partner up with somebody and you could expand and go very, very far. This could be a business partner. This could be somebody that you're publishing or broadcasting with, some kind of creative project. It's really, really nice. So I would definitely partner up with somebody and do something that's creative that allows you both to expand. The card chosen for you is 10 of Pentacles, and this is a really good card if you're interested in finding out how your next project will turn out. Well, this means that it's going to be quite successful. The 10 of Pentacles is all about a situation that can work and last far into the future, and it's about creating a legacy. Maybe you're going to be planning on having kids, a family, or you're rearing children now and making sure that they make you proud, right? And that they're making valuable contributions to society. Or maybe you're creating creative babies like books and things that you're going to leave behind. But now's the time to really think about your legacy and what is going to last far into the future. And last but never least, my fishies. So Pisces, this new moon will be in your 7th house. It is your house of partnership. So there's a new beginning for you in that realm. Oh, I'm glad you think so, Marlo, for Aquarius. Yeah. So what do you want in your relationships? Do you want a new partner? This could be personal. This could be professional. It could be either. Do you want to rekindle the flame with a partner that you already have? That could be really good too. But there's a new beginning for you in terms of partnerships to deepen and heal. This is a really great time for you to heal your relationship story. If you feel like I always get in a relationship like this, or he always does this, this is a great time for healing and new beginnings in all your partnerships, personal as well as professional. So if you're looking for a relationship, I'd write a list of all the things that you want in that person, right? And then ideally you'll become that person yourself, and then you'll attract them. Same thing with a business relationship. Write down what you want in that person, because this is a good new moon for you to get it. Now, your home life is a little bit erratic with that 4th house Uranus there. And your sleep life is also, very transformative. Your dreams might be very transformative. So you're in this process of determining what you need now in order to feel more emotionally secure, more connected to the divine mother and nurtured and cared for. And the more you can determine how you need to be loved and cared for and nurtured, especially in your home, that is going to make your subconscious life, your sleep life, a lot better. So I would say spend some extra time in the home, getting really comfortable, spend some extra time feeling more emotionally secure, and then get your sleep. This is a wonderful new moon for you to start giving yourself suggestions. As I sleep, all my cells will restore to perfect health, because you're going through a big transformation. And the big key for you is going to be what new ways that are inspired can you nurture and care for yourself? How can you mother yourself? How can you tap into that divine mother and nurture yourself in new ways? And if you do that, your subconscious is going to be healed, and you're going to be really able to look at life as, the world is your oyster, right? Now, Uranus is in your 4th, as we said, and it's making a sextile to Neptune in your 2nd. So in a lot of respects, the home changes that you make, like getting yourself more comfortable on the home front, more comfortable emotionally, could really help you to make more money. I also would say that this could be a great work from home opportunity. It also could be a matter of you're going to create your home or change up your home in such a way that it's more conducive to you expressing your talents and your skills. And then you also have Mercury in your 6th, sextiling Mars in your 8th. So you might be making a change in your daily routine that really transforms you. Like you might be making a job switch even that really makes you feel like you're becoming another person. And that's great. Likewise, you could be making a change in your habits. Maybe you're working out, or maybe you're eating differently. And literally with that 8th house, you're feeling as if you are transformed. You're a deeper person. Like you're more authentic, but you definitely have changed. It's still you, but it's just a more authentic version of you. And that's all with your habits. So your habits are going to transform you very easily. So if you want to transform, if you want to transform your life, that's all in your habits. And to obviously your work will have to do with that as well. You also, I would say, with that 6th house, 8th, start self-identifying as a healthy person. Start self-identifying as somebody who's happy in their job. The card chosen for you is 6 of Pentacles, which is about payoff. You're going to get some great payoff here. So if you've been working really hard and you've been doing all the things that you need to do, well, finally, a sigh of relief, you're going to get your comeuppance. And it's going to be great. So expect some unexpected money and some rewards. This is also about balance. So you're going to be able to balance things a little bit more in your life. And if you've been in a relationship in which things have been a little bit lopsided, well, this is the payoff. This is the payoff. So balance and success is around the corner. All right, folks, we did it. We did our new moon in Virgo Tarotscopes. I hope this was fun for everybody. Thanks so much for joining. And we have Casmar and Marlo. Have a wonderful new moon, and I will see you tomorrow for this week astrology. And do check out all of my resources, services, etc. in the description below. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye.